doing a breakdown for UFC Abu Dhabi, Corey Sandhagen, Umar Nurmagomedov. Good card. I really enjoyed the main card a lot. I will admit I missed the first three fights, which is Sam Hughes versus forgot who, Cedric Dumas versus Dennis Talulin, and Jai Herbert versus I believe Rolando Bedoya. Yeah, Rolando Bedoya. I looked at the stats. I watched a little bit of the highlights from him, or I watched a full fight. I just kind of skimmed through it. So yeah, here we are. It started at 8. I fell asleep at like 5:30 a.m. I'm not gonna lie to you, that shit was tiring. But anyway, new setup. Sorry if the camera's a little weird. It's my first time trying it. Sorry if the mic and shit's a little weird. I'm not experienced in computers at all. I'm I'm kind of retarded when it comes to all that, and it is what it is. I'm gonna work on it based off experience. But anyway, starting with the first fight of the prelim, Cedric Dumas versus Dennis Tululin. I chose Cedric to just out wrestle him and really just win by decision. He's a good all around fighter in my opinion. He's not at that level yet. So I honestly expected him to beat Dennis Tululin because he's not exactly he's not a can. I mean, Dennis Tululin, he's not a can. However, he's not far above the can. And the thing I always expected about Dennis Tululin is he usually always puts up a fight against people who are not the best. So I just picked Cedric decision. He edged it out 29-28. Good pick. I mean, we started off all right. Not really. We got the first two right. It's whatever. Moving on. Jai Herbert versus Rolando Bedoya. I chose Jai Herbert. I like Jai Herbert's striking, and I thought just his all-around striking will give him the edge. He's pretty active usually. He won the fight pretty clearly. The only thing I can say is that he took a lot of leg kicks, but, as long as you win the fight, that's what I care about. Hey, man, 2-0 to start the main card, or the prelims. I'm taking it. Sam Hughes versus Dudakova. I don't trust people who lose to Sam Hughes. I'm not gonna lie. The only thing I know Sam Hughes for is being tough. She's not really good technically. She's not a good striker. If you're losing to Sam Hughes and she's not even that active, really. Her activity is kind of whatever. You hit her, and then she counters. It's pretty slow counters. You got to be pretty bad to lose to her. And I thought, you know what? Dudakova was 8-1, 8-0 coming into this. I'm like, Dudakova, she can win. Sam Hughes, you got to beat Sam Hughes. Let's be honest. Good underdog sometimes, but you gotta beat Sam Hughes. I don't understand how you don't, but you just don't. I don't know. She got outstruck. Dudakova got outstruck. Sam Hughes just literally walked through everything like a tank and just broke her. I don't know how. Don't fight if you can't beat Sam Hughes. Respectfully, Sam Hughes, no disrespect to you. I know it sounds really disrespectful. But you're kind of like the gatekeeper of the UFC, you know what I'm saying? It's you gotta beat Sam Hughes. You got to. And just, Jesus Christ, that's my first loss, Dudakova, Sam Hughes. It's like I said, man, you gotta beat Sam Hughes. It's whatever. Congrats, Sam Hughes. 2-1. Still looking alright. 2-1's not bad. And then this is the fight where I woke up. I made sure, hey, I gotta get my ass up. I gotta watch this fight. This is a fight. This is a huge prospect. I'm excited for. Jordan Vucenic versus Guram. I thought it was pretty clear that Jordan won the first round. I think to everybody that's really clear. Second round's close. I gave it Guram personally. And I'm sitting here and I'm listening to the corner advice going into the third round. And he's saying, hey, Jordan, man, you were up 2-0 pretty easily. I'm like, I knew my bet was done right there. You can't tell a grappler they're up 2-0 when it's a close fight. You can't do that, or they're going to be like, you know what? I'm completely fine with being on bottom. I'm completely fine with stalling, and I will hold you here. It's the most retarded shit I've ever seen. Why would you tell your fighter? Look, and I understand You either want to give him confidence or you genuinely scored, 2-0. But it was a close round. It might have been 2-0. It might have been 2-0. But if it's a close round, assume you lost, in my opinion. Just tell your fighter, hey, it was a close round. They can give it to him. We got to step it up. You don't. And I can't even blame Jordan. Jordan fought with the knowledge he was given that, oh, I'm up 2 rounds. It's best I stall. I'm tired. I got to survive. Jordan looked great. Guram looked great. I don't know what the fuck he was doing with that kick off the fence in the third round. That shit was nasty. That was elite. Was it? I don't fucking know. I don't I don't know whether to call that elite or just it caught him off guard. It was a good move. I went Jordan Vucenic. I went him decision, and that's why I was really pissed when his coach was saying, "Oh, you're 2-0 up," because I knew he wasn't, and I knew it was 1-1, and it was a good comeback by Guram, who came in late. I don't want to say broke Jordan, but he kind of did. He kind of just walked him down at the end, gained all the confidence, great kicks. Jordan Vucenic, though, good prospect. I'm happy. This was a short notice fight. Keep that in mind. Short notice. I'm pretty sure up a weight class. UFC debut against Guram. Good on him. Great performance for what he was given. I do think he would have won if he knew that it was 1-1 going into it. I think he would have had more of a drive if he knew it was 1-1 going into it. But hey, man, close fight. Your corner let you down, but I honestly I understand where the corner was coming from. It's hard to coach a fight and not be biased towards your fighter and be like, hey, close fight, you won that round. Good job, Jordan, but you lost the last two, man. I don't know how to tell you that. I'm sorry. It sucks, but it is what it is. So yeah, 2-2. This is where my downfall. I was like, I'm just mad. Like, I'm just stressing out because my goal, and at least all of these fight cards, is to get above 50%. If you're not getting above 50%, you're clearly not that good at what you're doing. But sometimes those nights, they just happen. And I was feeling those nights. I'm not going to lie to you. But moving on to Shamil Gaziev versus Don'Tale Mayes. I thought about picking Don'Tale Mayes' decision. When I first chose the fight, and when I first saw it, I picked Don'Tale Mayes' decision. Worst mistake of my life. I changed it today because I'm like, hold up. Don'Tale Mayes just breaks down whenever you put pressure on him. If you like rock him or something, he just goes to the fence and he breaks down. So I picked Shamil Gaziev. First round knockout. The one thing he's good at is getting a first round knockout. And this guy who thinks he's Khabib, who trains wrestling. Look, I understand. You train wrestling. You're all right at wrestling. You don't have the cardio for wrestling. You better be fucking Tom Aspinall with that cardio. Your cardio's not good. You hurt Don'Tale Mayes. He's covering up. You're good at first round finishes. Why would you take him down? Why would you take him down? There's no point. You gotta be mentally insane. You gotta be so stupid to take someone down after you're about to finish him when you're good at first round knockouts and you don't have a gas tank. That whole first round, you spent in side control laying on him. Don'Tale Mayes didn't try to transition. He tried getting to the cage and backing up. You can't follow him for 3 minutes while he barely hit him. Gaziev barely hit him in that first round. He gassed. I hate Gaziev. I hate him. I've always been a doubter of him. I picked Rosenstruck to beat him pretty easily. I've always doubted his cardio. So I'm like, look, just maybe he can easily get this first round knockout. He should have got the first round knockout. But he's a retard and he says, oh, I gotta shoot for a takedown when this guy's clearly rocked in front of me and I gotta do nothing as side control. Not even a side control. In half guard. I gotta do nothing in half guard. Shameful. Yeah. Good win. Bad performance. You should have finished Don'Tale Mayes like 3 different times. Don'Tale Mayes is alright. His hooks are the slowest thing I've ever seen. He has no head movement. You should have finished him, but you won. So thank you. 3-2 for me. Like fucking hell, bro. They did their best to throw this card for me. They really did. Moving on to Muhammad Yaha versus Fernandez. I chose Fernandez because Muhammad Yaha he's trash, respectfully. He's not trash, but he's not that good. Neither is Fernandez, but I'm like, I'm just gonna go with what I think, and it's Fernandez. I need to question some IQ, right? It's a close fight. You're in the pocket with someone. I don't know if he tried doing a flying knee, but he was clearly in the air and he just got 1-2 knocked out. Well, TKO. It's a knockout either way, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, what's the IQ here? What's the game plan? If you're in the pocket with someone, don't go for a flying knee. Or if you're in 1-2 range where I can just, why are you going for a flying knee getting off balance? It's retarded. But I got it right, so why am I mad? I got it right. just fucking hell. I got it right. I'm happy about that. I chose decision, I believe. I didn't choose knockout. But hey, I mean, good performance all in all from Fernandez. Like, really good performance. Good knockout in the first round. I expected you to, stall a little bit longer. But I'm quite excited about that one. So 4-2, pretty good. And Ozma versus Alonzo Menifield. Menifield, bro, you gotta stop. Like, respectfully, why? What? Why get knocked out by Olberg not even too long ago, and then try making a comeback against Amza? Like, Ozma, he destroys people, kind of, but he knocks people out. And the thing I don't like about Menifield is he's coming off an 11-second knockout where he got no confidence, no good performance from that at all. He can't look into that fight that he just had with Olberg and take something away from it and improve. He doesn't have much time left. He's not improving from that fight. He got knocked out 11 seconds. He didn't learn anything from that. And I'm surprised his chin held up. I chose Ozma, I think I chose knockout. I'm not exactly sure, but I chose Ozma. And it was brutal. Great striking class, just outstruck him. A lot faster than him. Manyfield's he's known to wear down in terms of really striking. I think he should wrestle more, but he's known to not have the best cardio and really just slow down a lot. He slowed down a lot in the second round. I thought he looked alright in the first, but after that, it was just a clinic. He was just getting beat up left and right. He couldn't hit Ozma. Ozma was just destroying him. Eventually knocked him out. Manyfield's chin held up a lot better than I thought it would, so I'm really happy about that. I like him as a fighter. I think he's a good guy. I'm sorry I had to see him get knocked down and choose against him. But you can't come back after an Olberg knockout in 11 seconds and fight a guy who gets consistent knockouts. At that point, it's bad game plan, it's bad coaching, it's bad matchmaking. You need to be more responsible with your career and realize I just got knocked out. I didn't learn anything from my last fight. Why would I take this fight against a knockout artist? It's whatever. I ended the prelims pretty good, actually. I'm really happy with that. I only got 2 wrong. Here, let me confirm real quick. Like I said, I'm trying to get used to the setup. But here's my prelims picks. Really, they're all pretty good. Like, I'm happy with how I did. Jordan Vucenic, really close fight. I could have had 6 right. I could have had 6 out of the 7. It's whatever. Like I said, my main takeaway from this prelims is Gaziev still sucks. Kind of. His cardio is still bad. Dumas is kind of a can crusher. Azmat's good. He's good. I think the main reason I chose him is because I saw that he fought Dustin Jacoby. Yeah, he fought Dustin Jacoby, and he dealt with him a lot easier, in my opinion, than Alonzo Menifield did. I think I'm thinking of that. I think that's true. I think. Don't take my word for that. You might want to fact check that yourself. But my main takeaways, like I said, is really I'm mostly impressed with Fucking Jordan Vucenic, I know he lost. But just a short notice debut against Garam, coming up a weight class, and you did good. And the reason you lost is because you thought you were up 2-0 and you just didn't have the urgency, and it was still a close third round. That's a good performance. That's a good debut. I want to see you fight at your natural weight class with weeks to prepare. I think you'll be a top 15 for sure. I really do. That's my main takeaway from that prelim. I'm extremely happy about that, and I think he's a good prospect to come. He's a really good prospect. I'm excited to see him fight. I'm really excited. So yeah, Shamil Gaziev, retarded. Cedric Dumas, he should have won. He did win. It's like there's not really much to say about that. Jai Herbert, great striking. Not great striking. You got leg kicked a little too much, but it's all good. As long as you win the fight, I think you're fine, but that's a weakness for people to just expose. I'm not even gonna talk about the Sam Hughes fight. I'm so done with that fight. Like I already covered Jordan Vucenic. I've already been on his dick all day, his tatted sleeve dick. Gaziev, I've already hated on him way too much. He got the win. That's what matters. Praised Fernandez a lot, and Manyfield, bro, you got to make smart decisions with your career if you still want to be a fighter. Don't Volkanovski your career. Volkanovski, what his main mistake was, he got knocked out, and he thought, oh, I'm gonna come back in a few months, and I'm gonna fight a knockout artist. What compels you? You know, you're a good fighter. You're one of my not one of my favorites, but you're someone I like. I'm gonna cut you some slack. But next time, be smarter with your career and notice how much time you really have and what you can improve on. Other than that, it's all good. There wasn't really much on the prelim. Starting with the main card, huh? Elvis Brenner versus Joel Alvarez. I chose Joel Alvarez decision. He's like 6'3". Elvis Brenner has been known to struggle with people who have range and people who can control in the clinch and stuff like that. I won Joel Alvarez decision. He TKO'd Elvis Brenner. The one thing I was actually gonna choose TKO. Now I'm like, it's Elvis fucking Brenner. You don't really you don't knock him out. You know, you can TKO him. You don't knock him out. You don't just shit on him. Joel Alvarez shit on him. Let me look at the stats real quick. 114 strikes to 45. And he had more control. He shit on him. I think I tweeted this. If you guys want to check out my Twitter, I just be making like fight updates and shit. Joel Alvarez can be a top 10 contender. He has cardio. He has striking. He has good movement. He has the knowledge. He has good kick. He knows how to utilize range. I love people who utilize range. Granted, you're 6'3" at fucking lightweight. I don't like weight bullies that much. But if you are going to be a weight bully, don't be a retard and actually use your range and use the advantages you have. Good shit. I want to see you fight. I said Jalen Turner or RDA. I didn't know RDA was scheduled against Jeff Neal. I don't think anyone knew that. RDA is scheduled against Jeff Neal in Abu Dhabi. Or not in Abu Dhabi, in 308, wherever that is. It's somewhere like that. RDA scheduled, I guess that leaves, Jalen Turner or Benoit, but Benoit is fighting Moicano, so it's like, if you want to sit out, you can maybe get the loser of that, or you can get Jalen Turner. You might be able to get fucking Dan Hooker coming off a loss to Gamrot, because I think Gamrot's going to beat him pretty easily. Honestly, just be smart about your career. You don't got to take everything fast. You're a good prospect. Don't waste your talent. Don't waste your weight bullying. Please, you're a good prospect. I don't want to see you lose. And I also tweeted about this fight, the next fight. Lupi Godinez versus Mackenzie Dern. It's a disgrace. This fight wasn't a disgrace. The commentary, the rigging, it's just a disgrace. They should be ashamed. I don't get mad at commentary because I'm like, okay, usually they have a decent opinion on most fights. This was the most biased fight I think I've ever seen in my life. Me personally, I don't think Mackenzie Dern really outlanded Godinez that much. I actually hold up. I'm looking at ESPN stats right now. They have Mackenzie Dern outstriking Godinez. Loopy was. They literally showed the stats in the third and second outstrike Mackenzie Dern. Okay, I don't know. Those stats are a little weird. But I don't get it because Loopy was winning. I thought Loopy clearly won the second. I thought Loopy won the third, but I can maybe understand you winning that. Just giving it to Mackenzie. Mackenzie winning the first, I think it's pretty clear, but it's still close. 2 and 3 go to Loopy. No, I might have that mixed up. I think it was 1 and 3. Yeah, 1 and 3 go to Loopy. I don't see how you give that third round to Mackenzie. You just don't. She got outstruck majority of the fight, and I heard Paul Felder. I like you, Paul Felder. You're a good fighter. You're a little annoying sometimes on commentary, but you're a good fighter. You're usually a good commentator. He said, I see the stats. I see Loopy outstriking Mackenzie Dern, but that's not what I'm seeing in the fight. What are you seeing then? What, that the stats say that. And I don't usually trust the stats. Or I do. But, you know, you have some cases where it's like Sean Strickland now outstriking Adesanya, and Adesanya, like, doubling him. Some cases that happens. The stats that showed during the fight lined up perfectly with what everybody else was seeing. And then he was like, oh, Loopy might be landing more, but Mackenzie Dern's landing cleaner. No, she's not. She's hitting guards. She's hitting boxing guards. And they're like, oh, but she's landing cleaner. No, she's not. Loopy is 1-2 in her to death. And they're like, oh, but they don't hurt. They're just straights. Mackenzie Dern, the only thing she landed was straights. Yeah, it's blasphemy. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. The judges that chose Mackenzie Dern only want to fuck her because her fat ass. Guarantee it. She's not a star. She had a fake Brazilian accent. Stop faking your fucking accent and then going back to American. Like, you don't hear me faking an accent. Like, and she does it. She acts like no one notices. It's insane. It's annoying. She's kind of fine. You know what I'm saying? She's kind of fine. But that doesn't take away the fact that Loopy won that fight. Horrible. Okay, you know, the ref was fine. Or not the ref. The judges were fine. You can think Mackenzie Dern won that fight. It was still a close fight. The commentators need to hop off, bro. It's insane. Daniel Cormier was fucking juicing the ass. Paul Felder was just envisioning himself in that ass. It's like, it's disgraceful commentary. They're openly scoring rounds, which I'm fine with. They're openly scoring rounds, but they're also just giving you false info. They're telling you to ignore the stats and just look at what you're watching. What do you mean? It's like, and I tweeted this. I tweeted about Umar and Sandhagen and all that. My most liked tweet and my most viewed tweet was me saying that Loopy clearly was winning and that she clearly won. That's when you know it's a problem. People agreed. Loopy clearly won. But it's Mackenzie Dern. She's not really fine. Her face is kind of ugly. She fakes a Brazilian accent, but she has a fat ass. She's not a star. She's kind of boring. She's really just any woman. But she's got a fat ass. It's like, it's disgraceful. It's disgraceful. It's retarded. UFC, you're not going to do shit about it, but it's like, Loopy, I stand by you. If you, bro, started GoFundMe for Loopy, bro, because she just lost half her paycheck to that dog shit, and her that was her big contender fight, and she lost half her paycheck to that, and her spot. It's the stupidest shit ever. Blatant robbery. It's all good. It's all good. Tony Ferguson versus Michael Chiesa. There's not much to say. It's Tony Ferguson, bro. No, there's actually something to say. What the Tony, you went 3 rounds of Patty Pimlet on the ground. You can't go 3 rounds. You can't go a single round with Michael Chiesa on your back. Really? You can't, like, Tony, I love you. I chose you to win. I chose fucking Tony Ferguson to win because Michael Chiesa, If there's anyone that Tony Ferguson beats and could maybe TKO, it's Michael Chiesa. He just goes in a ball and does nothing. He Tony outstruck him too. I know it didn't last long, but Tony outstruck him. But we need to talk about this, Tony. I don't train, or I sometimes train MMA. I don't train consistently. You train consistently. If someone has you right here, why would you do this? If someone has you in a rear naked choke, why would you raise your chin and straighten out your back? What are you doing? You were fighting hands. You were doing good, and then you... Like, what... He's retarded. He's old. The CT is kicking in. I love you, Tony, but it's the truth. The CT is... It's kicking in, man. But if you believe that you can make a title run, I believe in you. And I will stick by you. But it doesn't even... Because before, I'd be like, oh, retire. Please. I don't want to see this no more. It doesn't even hurt anymore. I've seen it too many times. It doesn't even hurt anymore. It's sad. It's really sad. You kind of threw the fight away low-key by doing that. You need to work on your grappling. You need to work on your submission defense. Your grappling's all right, kind of. You just gave up your back. I don't know. Like, your grappling's kind of trash. You just gave up your back, man. And Michael Chiesa, how dare you want to fight Tony Ferguson? How dare you say, oh, I've been wanting to fight Tony for a while now. I really been wanting to fight Tony. Yeah, everybody does. Accepting to fight Tony Ferguson, you should get punished. You should genuinely get punished. It's beating up senior citizens. And I know Michael Chiesa, the only reason you took this fight is so you can get a win and you can walk up to fucking UFC and be like, this is why I deserve my job, because I'm a good fighter. You're a soy boy. You crumble in the ball to any pressure. Tony Ferguson is retarded, old senior citizen, but you won. You won. You beat Tony. And I'm feeling we give you to, like, Shavkat or Jeff Neal. I think Chiesa's next matchup should be Shavkat or Jeff Neal. No one in between. No one in between. I think he deserves death by Shavkat or Jeff Neal. Flatline, I'm okay for Flatline. Hey, but actually, wait, hold up. I got one more thing to say about it. Good shit on giving Tony your fucking stupid speech. You thought Tony Ferguson was gonna retire because he lost to you? You really thought Tony Ferguson was gonna retire. So you gave your whole speech away saying, this guy deserves it right here. This guy deserves it. Walked away. He didn't even retire. He didn't even retire. He took his gloves off, baited the shit out of you. He didn't even retire. He was like, oh, thank you, Chiesa. I gotta talk to my family. One glove in, one glove out. What? You know he's not gonna retire. Why is he putting one glove in, one glove out? Good shit, Tony. I mean, you baited him to... You saved us from a 2-minute boring-ass speech of Michael Chiesa that no one wanted to hear. Thank you, Tony. And thank you for Tony's a national hero. And I'm with you, man. Let's get that win together. I'm with you. Like, you're a retard. You're a senior citizen. You're my boy. I'm with you. We'll win together. I promise. I'll be there when you win. I'll be there when you lose. Good shit, Tony. Fuck it. I don't even give a fuck about Michael Chiesa. Good shit, Tony. Moving on to Cheeto versus Figueiredo. It's the same problem with Cheeto, right? Like, it really is. I chose Figure decision, but I thought it was a tricky fight because they're both kind of the same fighter. The difference is, like, and what I mean by they're both kind of the same fighter is they both, like, they're not the fastest starters, but Figueiredo has that power throughout. Cheeto doesn't have that power throughout the fight, which is why he thinks, oh, I don't have to be that urgent. You kind of do, though. You kind of do. And the way he fights is annoying to me Because he has the best chin in the UFC. Yeah, he got knocked down. First ever knockdown. Best chin in the UFC? For what? You strike like you're fucking Jalen Turner, bro. And Jalen Turner is more active than you, and he goes in more than you. You have the best chin in the UFC. I get it. You're built like Sean Woodson. You're a little weird. You're just built really weird. I get that. You gotta fight like a brawler, man. You gotta go in there. You have the best chin, and you're standing at range, afraid to get hit. I didn't see any of that during the Sean O'Malley fight. You got hit for days. You got hit for days, man. Like, why were you afraid to get hit? You gotta go in there sometimes. You gotta take the risk. I scored a 2-1 Figgy. I think everybody did. All the judges. I don't know who had it 30-27. Figgy didn't win that second round. It's kind of clear. 29-28 Figgy. He won the first. He won the third. He got the knockdown. That's kind of what secured the round for him really clearly. And it just sucks because I like Cheeto. I really like Cheeto. I've been supporting him for like 3 years now. It's kind of, it hurts to see because he has so much potential. He has progress. He's made progress. His striking looked a little crispier. His boxing was good. It's just he's afraid. He doesn't have that drive in him. I chose Figueiredo because I knew Figueiredo, he's been through 5 rounds. He's been through 15 rounds of Brandon Moreno. And he knows when he's losing. He has a good understanding of scoring. And you saw it with his urgency to win that third round. You saw it, and I knew that he had that drive in him and understanding. Good pick. I mean, there's not really much to the fight. Like, it was, I already thought it'd be a little boring fight. It was pretty good, but it's like, there's not much to talk about besides Figueiredo knocking him down and looking. My thing with Figueiredo is, he looks like an elite contender. He is an elite contender, but I don't know how he's going to fare up against O'Malley. I don't know how he's going to fare up against Umar or even Jan. It's just, his wins are good. Rob Font, Cody, Cheeto, but they're not elite level, you know? Like, I hate to say it about Cheeto. They're not elite level wins. And I need to see him against someone like Jan before I can confirm this guy gets a title shot. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's not elite level wins. And I hate to say that because I like both of them a lot. But I got that right. Figure decision. I didn't expect him to knock him down, but figure decision because I knew he'd have the urgency. Moving on to the co-main event. Shara versus Olazejczyk. I picked Olazejczyk because I thought he'd I didn't think he'd knock him out. I thought he would wrestle, get the decision. Shara showed improved. He didn't show improved takedown defense. He got dragged down multiple times, but he showed the ability to get up from takedowns, and I thought that was great. And another thing about Olazejczyk is he doesn't block the body, and he's really frail to the body. So he'll get hit in the body, and he usually just gives up or slows down. He showed a lot of heart. I'm proud of him. He showed a lot of heart today, pushed through everything. It sucks that he fought Shara, but I think if he fights other contenders, he's going to win. Okay, maybe not other contenders. If he just takes it a little slow, fights a little more people, I think he'll get the win against majority of middleweight. The majority of the unranked guys. And it's like, it's just a good performance from Shara. I'm really impressed by Shara. I chose him to win by decision. I got it right. Another reason is McCall's last fight broke his arm against Kevin Holland, like not only like 2 months ago. It didn't seem to affect him. He did really good, actually. He did a lot better than I expected. Like I said, it showed Shara decision. I knew he'd be more active, and I expected him to knee the body and kick the body, which he did, and that's ultimately what got him the win. So like I said, really impressed by Shara. Give him a top 15. Who's a middleweight top 15? I don't know. I'll do matchups and shit in another video because I got like 4 videos coming out. Good shit to Shara. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of Shara at all. I think he's kind of a piece of shit, and I think he can easily get exposed. But he's shown improvement, and he showed it pretty fast. He showed it pretty good against higher level competition than what he just fought. He got knocked down. I think it was off balance. I don't think it was like official knockdown. But just like I said, good shit to shower, good performance. Take a little bit of time off, not too much. Oh wait, no, one more thing. You inbred retarded fuck calling out Nick Diaz. What? You remember how I said calling out Tony Ferguson or accepting a fight against Tony Ferguson, you should just be punished in some way? That is the most pathetic call out I've ever seen in my life. Nick Diaz is the most pathetic call I've ever seen in my life. And said, "Hey man, we're both strikers." What the, like? Why are you calling out Nick Diaz? You have a chance to hit the top 15 pretty easily, and you're calling out Nick Diaz. So in my opinion, he's scared to hit the top 15, and he just wants to beat up cans, or he's just retarded. Which I'm gonna go with retarded. I don't think he's scared. I just think he's retarded. Moving on to the main event. Corey Sandhagen versus Umar Nurmagomedov. I chose Corey. And in the most respectful way, I'm disappointed with his performance. That's not the Corey I'm used to seeing. And part of it is the Corey I'm used to seeing, and that's why I'm also mad. Because I chose Corey, 4th round TKO, 5th round TKO, something like that. Because I believe that his lateral movement would be great, and he could pressure. I thought he would pressure Umar a lot more, back him up, because it's a lot harder to shoot takedowns off that. And we've seen Sandhagen back people up before and just beat him up. He didn't show his movement. All he had was leg kicks. His boxing was dog shit. He tried rolling for... His scrambles were good. His takedown defense was good. And then out of nowhere, he just stopped. Like, he knew that he could defend takedowns. And he stopped striking out of nowhere. And then, because he stopped striking, Umar just walked him down and then took him down. And I'm like, what are you doing? You're not focused on striking. You're not focused on stopping the takedown. You're not doing anything. Like, you're just not doing anything to win that fight. You don't deserve to win that fight. I had a 4-1 Umar, but I thought it could easily be 5-0. Great performance. The reason Umar won, in my opinion, is because of his striking, where he looked a lot better than Corey, and I don't think Corey expected that. Obviously, his wrestling was a big part of it, and obviously people are impressed by that. We already knew it'd be good, so I was like, okay, we already knew your wrestling would be really good. I'm impressed, but I'm not as impressed as I was with your boxing. Your kicks were great leg kicks. Like the first 2 to 3 rounds of this fight were takedowns and just trading kicks over and over again. I thought Umar did great at that, but I expected him to gas a little bit because he was pushing a hard pace. I expected him to gas. Great cardio. He trains with Khabib. Obviously, you're gonna have great cardio. I didn't expect it to be as good. I expected it to be good, not as good. But what really impressed me right now is his boxing. I think he won the fight based off counters. Because if you look at the fight, a lot of times Corey would just rush in. Like, who's that fucking Irish bitch? Shannon Barnett? Something like that. She has a blitz move that she does every time, where she just does 1-2s like 3 times while you're chasing you down. No hands up, nothing. Corey threw a bunch of random 1-2s, and Umar just 1-2'd him back. Like, good head movement, out the way, and he would just counter him with a 1-2. He'd counter him with a straight. He would just counter him great. And I was so impressed by that. I was more impressed by anything with the ability to counter people and his knowledge of striking. The one thing I can say, though, against someone who's smart, against someone who wants to win a fight, you can't try catching kicks all the time. You can't try catching kicks. Actually, the 2 weaknesses I noticed about him, but Corey wasn't going to do anything about it. I already knew he wasn't going to. He stands still, which isn't bad. But when he dodges a punch or he throws a 1-2, his chin's all the way up with he doesn't have his hands near him at all. So if you could just really counter him, slip, overhand, something like that, you can hit him hard, and it might put him out. I don't think it'll put him out, but it might. He's really fast, so it's gonna be hard, and I don't see it being a huge problem in the future. But if you really want to work on that, you got to start moving your head, or you got to keep your chin tucked and put your hands back to your face. A lot of times, you didn't put your hands back to your face immediately. You kind of had a feel out process, and then you were like this. But you're a wrestler. Your hands are used to being down here. I understand, but if you're in a boxing fight and you're just boxing like that, you might want to put your hands up a little more. I could see you getting chinned. It wasn't a problem for Sandhagen though. Good shit. You countered him good. I'm just really impressed. I'm really happy. Even though I lost, I'm happy that we have an entertaining Dagestani fighter. I'm happy we have an entertaining Nurmagomedov, who's the full package. He reminds me of Makhachev. He can strike. He might be better than Makhachev. I know not everybody's ready for that opinion. It's kind of hard to say. All he did was beat Corey Sandhagen, who apparently is trash. He might be better than Makhachev. His kicking, in my opinion, is better. He has good boxing. Not as clean, not as protective boxing, but he has good boxing. His wrestling, he has a little more creativity, but that's because he's lighter. He can afford it. Makhachev does brute strength wrestling. I'm just impressed, and I'm happy that he won. All in all, oh yeah, one more thing to end off the card, really. Umar, bro. Like I said, you gotta stop trying to catch kicks. Because Corey, if Corey was even a little smart, which he was, the worst part is Corey saw this too and he chose to do nothing. He could have thrown a head kick while you were trying to catch a kick. But every time he tried, where I'm like, okay, Corey, you got a head kick now, this is your time. He would do a lazy switch kick so you already knew it was coming. Or he would do it like 10 feet away from you out of range so you already knew it was coming. And even if he didn't, it would miss. It's like, Corey, that wasn't you. You threw the fight. Not on purpose. I'm not saying you do it on purpose. It wasn't you. I know it wasn't you. But I think even on your best day, Umar might still outclass you. But it felt like you didn't have the drive in that fight. Obviously, you went forward at the end. You had the drive a little bit, but you didn't have the execution on the stuff you should have had the execution. You didn't. Going into that 5th round, I think I heard DC say that he heard from your corner, oh, I guess I gotta go for a leg lock. Like, what the fuck? The IQ of fighters and coaches, like I said, I understand it's different when you're there. From an outside perspective, I just spit all over my fucking camera. From an outside perspective, that's not what you had to do at all. From an outside perspective, you could have knocked him out by doing a head kick, by just having really cleaner boxing, because you would 1-2, and you're like right here, no head movement, you just run into him. Fucking Shamil Gaziev out there, where you just bash your head against the fucking fence. Like what are you doing, man? I'm not used to seeing that Corey. Good leg kicks. Umar could struggle with leg kicks in the future. I think Sean O'Malley could beat him. I honestly could. I used to think Sean O'Malley was kind of dog shit, but he's changed my opinion. I think he might, in terms of skill, he's up there with like all the pound for pound people. So, good shit to Umar. Fight Figgy or Jan. You're not getting the Sean O'Malley fight, or you will, but you would have to wait in order to get that fight. Don't wait. Fight Figgy or Sean. You could lose your fight. You could lose your title fight. But if you want to get active, fight Figgy or Jan. I'm personally choosing Figgy. I think you have a better chance at Figueiredo than you have at Jan. Jan's a more all-around striker. Figgy doesn't push a pace, and his wrestling's good. His guillotine's good, which might scare you a little bit, especially because you do single legs, and he has really good clinch work. But if you strike with Figueiredo, I think you'll win, and I think you should take that fight. Jan, you won't have as much of a chance to win. He struggles. Jan doesn't struggle with wrestlers, neither does Figgy. But Jan can push a pace. He has better boxing than Nurmagomedov, in my opinion. Like I said, I'll make a whole separate video. I got like 4 videos coming up. Good shit, Umar. You deserved it. Corey, step it up, man. I get it if you don't have that drive anymore, because you need that drive. And the reason I chose you is because I thought he would have that drive. Maybe he'd lose like 2 rounds, but I thought his lateral movement mixed with pushing him back, I really just thought it would be a pretty good counter to a wrestler, which it was in the first and second round. And then he turned into a retard and started doing horrible shit and just wasn't smart at all. It sucks being half right on a pick just for your pick to throw the fight away. It's like what are you doing, man? You're kind of letting me down, you're letting yourself down, but you're still out there for title contention. Maybe make a quick turnaround. I know you probably can't, but it's probably your best option to make a quick turnaround, and I think probably Jan. I would say you fight Jan. Nah, because you already fought Jan. I don't know. We'll get into who Corey has to fight because he's fought a pretty good amount of people already, and I don't want to see him having a rematch unless it's really warranted. So maybe Song Yadong, maybe. We'll get into everything like that, but like I said, good performance by Umar. I went all right on the card. I think it's like, oh, here, let me get to my shit though. My main card picks, as you can see, I should have got Loopy right. Like I'm a little pissed about that. I should have got Loopy right. It's whatever. I think I went. Let's see. If the main card is 6, I don't know. I got 8 right. I know I had 50% of the cards right, so I'll take it. But it's like 2 fights, man. 2 fights I could have got right, and it's just bad judging, bad commentating, and just a bad corner mistake. But it's fighting, man. That happens. All in all, I'd say the card's like a 6 out of 10. Umar's elite, man. Umar's elite. I hate Dagestanis. I hate Russians. I hate Khabib's almost his whole team besides Makhachev. And now Umar, because he's so good, man. He's so entertaining. I don't know if he'll be champion, but I see that in his future completely. 100%. That fight with Umar Sean O'Malley, the trash talk to that fight could be insane. And I'm very excited to see it. So, like and subscribe if you want. Obviously, like I said, I'm still working on my setup, so it might be a little weird. But Umar, man, he's elite. So yeah, like and subscribe. I'll make a couple more videos, like hopefully by the end of the week. I'll definitely make more videos by the end of the week. And honestly, good shit to almost everybody on the card besides Shamil. Yeah, besides Shamil, Dudakova, you're fucking dog shit. Shamil's pretty bad too, but he's got some physique, I guess. Like, I don't. Shamil has no weapons, but he wins because it's heavyweight, and that sucks to see. So, fuck Shamil, Dudakova. I don't give a fuck. Just fucking get Shamil Gaziev out the fucking UFC at this point, bro. His next loss. No, keep him in because I like the memes that come out of him. I like seeing him lose. I'm just hanging on him for no reason. But yeah, like I said, like and subscribe. See you later, I guess.